Welcome to 3 Takeaways, our agency new business video series where we focus on one new business category and give you 3 takeaways to help you improve your new business program. While you're here, give us a thumbs up if you like the episode and hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss a single video. All right, we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna talk music for our 3 takeaways, and more importantly, how certain bands can help influence and guide your new business strategies. So the inspiration for this episode came from a post I wrote on how Iron Maiden can help you drive new business. I took my 15-and-a-half-year-old son to see them. Fantastic show, by the way, they still got it. But what struck me besides the show itself is what master marketers and merchandisers the band really are. It's the only concert I've been to where the beer lines were fairly short, but the merch lines were over 100 deep throughout the night. I kid you not. I mean, Maiden have built a following that's lasted since 1975, and not only are they selling out 15,000 plus venues, but they're selling $45 t-shirts, and there were 15 different shirt designs there. I counted. I mean, it's a following any brand would die for, so Craig, the man behind the camera and part of our Marcom team and a better guitar player than I will ever be, thought we should do an episode on a few more bands that have achieved similar success and tie it into new business and your new business program. So that's what we're gonna do. The first band, or in this case individual, is Prince. So I could have also used Guided by Voices for this example, by the way, but I chose Prince not just because he was a wildly successful artist, but because he was a prolific songwriter. So much so that it said Prince's secret vault of unreleased music could produce albums for over another 100 years. So Prince released a lot of quality albums, and you can certainly argue some clunkers, but he was obviously fairly selective of, about what he released, what he considered the quality work. So in relation to new business, your prospecting, the content you're ideally creating to drive new business for your firm, you can create emails to send to prospects or posts on LinkedIn, but are they really worth posting or just filler? Well, that's your first takeaway. It's this: be prolific, but be choosy. As hard as it may sometimes be, you have to drive yourself to create content, even if it's a brief thought leadership paragraph on one of your verticals on LinkedIn. And drive yourself to create a vault of email templates and reach outs over time so you're able to pick and choose those that are best fit and resonate with prospects to help you break through. It's something I do and our new business directors do to help them break through effectively for our RSW clients. And you certainly don't need to go to Prince levels of quantity, although having a new business vault with 100 years worth of blog posts would be something. All right, moving on. The next band is Grateful Dead. So why the Dead? If you know anything about them, the Dead, like Prince, were also prolific in their songwriting, but we specifically chose them because as their following grew and their concerts became cultural events, with devout followers, unlike most other bands, the Grateful Dead allowed their fans to record their shows, even going so far as establishing taper sections where the concert goer could set up their gear and get the best sound quality. For those not familiar, with the practice, images like this, showing a forest of professional grade microphones rising up from the audience, may be surprising. Now, allowing fans to tape concerts was highly unusual, as conventional wisdom was, if fans are allowed to record their concerts, they're not going to buy the records. So, although the record companies were strongly against it, the Dead allowed the audience to record and distribute their shows for free. All right, to be fair, the band was just doing what was easiest, kind of taking the path of least resistance. However, the results were remarkable. So what's your new business takeaway here? It's this: don't be afraid to free your content. Give away a little of your secret sauce. The Dead's tape trading community had the opposite effect from what the record companies predicted and was responsible for fueling the band's success. These tapes became the best promotional tool the band could ask for, and legions of future Deadheads began listening to and going to concerts because of those tapes. So in terms of new business, now I'm not talking about giving away anything covered under NDAs or a specific creative idea, but too many firms are afraid to give away content related to their thinking for fear it will be stolen somehow. You're not giving away the farm here, but don't be afraid to give prospects a peek behind the curtain so they can see how smart you are and what it's like to work with your firm. All right, your final band is Steely Dan. Why Steely Dan? Well, quick backstory if you don't know. Walter Becker and Donald Fagen wrote the songs for the band, and Fagen sang lead, although on the first album there was another singer, David Palmer, who sang lead on 2 of the tunes. There was actually a third, but live, apparently Fagen was not at all confident in his singing ability at that early point, and the limited amount of live shows in those early days, all the songs were sung by David. Now that didn't last long, and Steely Dan stopped all touring eventually and focused on their studio output. But how they orchestrated that output is your third takeaway. It's this: pick the right talent for the job. Steely Dan chose from some of the best jazz and rock musicians to record their music, and like the band or not, the musicianship is phenomenal. So from a new business perspective, way too often an agency will decide an AE should handle new business, usually while still servicing accounts. All right, or a partner thinks she or he can handle new business along with all the other hats they're wearing. Now, I'm not saying those scenarios can never work, but we've seen the struggles. Pick the right person for the job. Let them focus on it and let them do it. I also see agencies putting all kinds of obstacles in the way of a new business program. Give it a chance. And I'm not talking a few weeks. Ultimately, there has to be results, but picking the right person makes all the difference. All right, we had fun with this one. Thanks for watching. More useful agency new business content at the URL below. We will see you next time.